Alright, Chris, don't ruin this at all. Don't make this video bad. Just, you can do it. You can do it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of Indies with Day. This is a show coming every Wednesday that I've been planning for a long time, where I talk about the latest movies, releases, indies, foreign films, and classic movies that I think you should check out. I always loved, there's three things you need to know about me. Number one, I love indies, I love foreign films, and I love classics. So why not bring in together a show called Indies with Day and let's talk about some really interesting films. So besides doing that, I'm going to get a quick little video out of the way. We are halfway through 2016. I know, it's crazy. So here are my top 5 favorite films of 2016 so far. And after this, I will say what are some of the most anticipated films you need to see for the next few months. Anticipating because Oscar season's coming out and just some movies you should check out before the summer is over and some indies you should definitely check out. Let's get started with number 5, Demolition. This is the new film from Jean-Marc Vallée. If I pronounced your name wrong, sir, I apologize. This is a film that came out earlier this year. A lot of people were hit or they were missed with it. And I will say, I love this movie. I thought this film was fantastic. I thought this was a really phenomenal story of Jake Gyllenhaal, who plays this guy who lost his wife, who died in a car crash, and he has to kind of find his way to cope with her death. And so he starts demolishing things and eventually gets to the house. And it's a story of moving on for something where you really find yourself. If you're in the biggest, you have to move on from something important. You do it. I had that situation a year ago and I moved from that, and this movie really made me feel like that again. And it's a movie I definitely recommend people check out. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I still recommend checking it out. Number 4 is Green Room. This is the newest film from the director of Blue Ruin and A24, those brilliant guys who would do such a fantastic job down there. This movie was a very hit and miss with me. The first time I saw it, I enjoyed it. I really liked it, what it was going for. The next time I saw it, I loved it. And the next time I saw it again, I loved it even more. This movie is fantastic, not to mention a fantastic performance from an incredible performance from Patrick Stewart and the late Anton Yelchin, who it's sad to hear about him. But if you want to see more films with him in there, check this movie out. It's one of the year's best films. It's available on Blu-ray, DVD, and also on demand and Vudu. Check it out. Number 3 is The Lobster. This is the movie everybody who is an indie fan like myself has been recently talking about. This movie is fantastic. This film is absolutely one of the year's best films, and that goes with good reason. This movie was really one of the most anticipated films of the year because obviously people say it kept getting pushed. It kept getting pushed. It will go for Oscar films. And while it's not going to go for the Oscar nominees this year, it's one of the best films I've seen this year. It is one of the weirdest movies I honestly have seen since Clockwork Orange. And if you're into these type of movies, this is your cup of tea. It's a very intriguing film, and it's a very fantastic film with performances. Fantastic performances from Rachel Weisz to Colin Farrell to John C. Reilly. This is a phenomenal film. If you have not seen The Lobster, it comes out on Blu-ray and digital HD in a few weeks. Check it out. My number 2 favorite film of the year is Midnight Special. This was my number 1 for a consecutive amount of weeks until I recently saw a different film. Now, I know a lot of people have been very, very interested in this movie, and they've been very interested in how this film was going to be and how was it. This movie was fantastic. This movie reminded me of E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind meets Starman and meets Carpenter, and it was so fantastic, not to mention a phenomenal performance from the young boy who I cannot remember his name, and fantastic performances from Michael Shannon, from Kirsten Dunst, from Adam Driver, from even I forgot his name. I'll move on. But this is such a fantastic film. If you have not seen this movie, I definitely recommend checking out. It is one of the best films I've seen in a while. My number 1 favorite film of the year so far is a film I recently just saw, and it is still the best movie of 2016 so far, and it is Sing Street. This movie is Rocky of the 2010s. This movie is fantastic. This film is set back as a biopic from 2010s where this young boy falls for this girl, so he decides to make a band to win her over. And it's such a beautiful film. It's such a fantastic film. This is from Jim Carney, who did Once and Begin Again, which I have not seen once, but I have seen Begin Again, and Begin Again is a fantastic film. If you have not seen this, but this is where he shines. A 97% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Comes out on Blu-ray in a couple weeks. I'll definitely be picking it up. It's one of those movies that stole my heart away, and I wanted to see it again and again. If you have not seen Sing Street, check it out. It's such a fantastic film. And that is my list for the top 5 best films of the year so far. I do have some honorable mentions for some movies that I think you should still check out, or some honorable mentions that just missed the top 5. Those are The Neon Demon, the new film from the fantastic Nicholas Winding Refn. You also have Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Cut, and the theatrical cut. I am very mixed on it, but I really enjoyed the film. Also, I have 10 Cloverfield Lane and a ton of others. Guys, and The Witch. Guys, that is my very first episode of Indies with Day. I'll be here every single Wednesday to talk movies and new stuff with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.